What's up, everybody? How you guys doing today? This is Jeremiah Davis, the funding coach, and today is Monday Fun Day, where I provide tips about how to get funding. Today's topic is how to qualify for personal loans to build or start your business. All right, this is one of the biggest things or obstacles, challenges, let me say, that entrepreneurs face is how to get capital. And here's the thing: most of the big companies don't use their own money. Okay, uh, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Elon Musk. There's a lot of people out there that they use other people's money. Okay, and um, in my time as being 20 years of moving money in one shape, form, or fashion, and then providing that knowledge, those resources, that information to the general public, and learning the whole time. I'm always learning about new funding products, new resources, new strategies of how to get money and use that money as a tool to up your build your business, start your business. Okay. And one of the easiest and fastest ways to get money is through personal loans. Um, this is I've said this 100 times, and I'll keep saying it till I quit getting calls. People ask me for it. People are starting businesses with little to no money, right? I mean, it doesn't take a lot of money to get an LLC or file your S corp and set up a bank account, things like that. But then they get stuck and they don't know. And then a lot of people, what's really hot right now is building business credit to access capital. Okay. Now I'm 100%, 110% advocate for building business credit, and for particular reasons. And there are funding resources that having business credit will give you access to. But it's not just about the business credit. It's about the fundability of your business. It's about your personal credit and your business credit. Having your financial documentation in order, things of that nature. You got to have all the pieces to the puzzle to access different types of loans with your business credit. Okay, so there's a process involved. You can't just build up an 80 paydex score and get a loan when your business doesn't make any money. You don't have any business financials. You don't have good personal credit. Okay, so that's why I want to talk about how to get personal loans, because that's the easiest, in my opinion, to qualify for. That you can get $25,000, $50,000 relatively easy, and then you can use that money strategically to build your business. You got to use that money strategically to build your business. Okay, so that's why. How do you qualify for a personal loan? It's not that difficult. You got to have semi-good credit. I use a standard, and I use this standard across the board because I know if you meet this standard, I'm going to get you anywhere from $25,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. Okay, in some cases, $100,000. This depends on your situation. I've gotten some people up to $300,000 in personal funding that they can put into their business. Why? Because their business didn't have all the pieces to get the prime interest rate for a business loan. So we had to come up with a different strategy. And because they had strong credit files and strong income, they was able to get up to $300,000 in personal loans. Okay. So what are the qualifications? Well, this is my standard. Now, every bank has their own standard of approval process. It's called decision analytics or decision logic, where you submit all your data into the bank application. The computer generates an approval with the term conditions and the interest rate based on what the bank owner or the lender has programmed that computer, that algorithm to do. So it might, if you go to a standard bank, they might come back with a signature loan for $25,000 at 12, 13% interest, which is not bad, because you got to realize it's not It's unsecured. There's no collateral. Okay. Then you can go to a payday loan. They're using the same decision logic, and they're going to come back with a $10,000 approval for, you know, 20% interest. Okay. So my point is the lenders get to dictate what they want to approve and how much they want to approve. All that is done way before you even get to them. Okay. But in general, and my standard that I use for qualifying people for personal loans is this. I'm looking for a 660 credit score on all three credit bureaus. And I'm looking at the FICO score, not the Vantage score. Okay, so if you have a credit monitoring that doesn't give you FICO, I would suggest you get one that gives you a true FICO score. And I suggest that you keep that credit monitoring for life and set it up so you get the alerts, any changes to your credit, any new inquiries, new late payments or collection accounts, so you can address those immediately and don't wait around. Because one late payment in the last 2 years can change your fundability a great deal. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm looking for is a 660 on all three credit bureaus, and then with a FICO score, not a Vantage score. All right. I mean, I can use a Vantage score, but lenders are kind of cracking down a little bit more, and they're relying more on FICO than Vantage. This is post-pandemic type thing. Okay. The next thing that I'm looking for is the strength of your credit file. How many revolving trade lines do you have? Okay. The optimal amount or the minimum amount we like to see is at least 3. Okay. That's 3 revolving credit cards. Okay. Or revolving lines of credit. Okay. Or more, but also that they are under a minimum of under 50% utilization. Now, I say 50% utilization because that's what the banks that I work with are looking for. Now, in the credit repair space, we want you to have under 30%, sometimes even lower, 10%. And that's just to boost your score. That's to boost your file, show your responsibility of paying your credit cards off on time and not overutilizing your credit. So you want to keep your utilization for lending purposes as a minimum of under 50%, but the lower the better. All right, the lower your utilization is, the higher your credit score will be, just based on managing utilization wisely. Okay. The next thing I'm looking for is that you don't have any late payments in the last 2 years. Okay, if you have a late payment in the last 2 years, then it's going to affect your lendability. Okay, your fundability. All right. I'm also looking for no collections. All right. Let me go back. If a late is older than 2 years old, and then it loses its impact on your credit. Okay. So like I have a couple, like one student loan late that was never late, that is for 2007. So I'm not bothering to dispute that because I know that's not affecting my credit in a great way when I go try to get credit or funding. Okay. So back then, no collections. You can't have no collections at all. Not in the last year, in the last 5, 10 years, no collections on your credit report. Okay. If you have a collection, it's going to affect your lendability. Not saying you won't get funding, but you're going to limit your access to funding if you have a collection on your credit report. Okay. Third thing rather, is any other negative items, no derogatory items. We don't want to see any derogatory items. I mean, the biggest things are bankruptcies and child support on your credit report, or a lot of medical bills. You want to get those things off your credit as soon as possible, the legal way, okay, using a verifiable, credible credit repair company that knows what they're doing, okay. But the child support is one of those things that's really difficult to get off. I've had a number of clients that they look good on everything else, but that child support was on there, and that was detrimental to them getting funding. Okay. The other thing that we're looking for is the age of your credit history. So a lot of people, you're going through credit repair, you're getting all the negative items, and then you're adding new trade lines. And that's great. That's what you need to do to build your credit back up. But it's all new lines of credit that does not fly well with the bank. They want to see some history on your credit file. You ever have to have a strong credit file. You have to have at least 3 revolving trade lines, and they need some age on them, at least a year, 2 years or more. Okay, that's very vital to having a strong credit file. If it's all new, it's going to affect your fundability. You're going to have limited access to funding. Okay, inquiries. Now, this is the biggest. This is, I don't want to say the biggest one, but this is one of the major points, because I get a lot of people that have everything, that every box is checked, but they have 10 inquiries on their credit in the last 6 months, or 20 or 30. I've seen it all. I've seen people, I'm like, what are you doing? And usually they're applying for cars or trying for houses. They're shopping. They're getting things, or they're not getting it, but they're getting a lot of these inquiries. I mean, most of you guys probably know, when you go to a car dealership and apply for a car loan, they're going to run your credit. You're going to get probably 8, 10, 15 different inquiries, depending on the car dealership, on your credit just from one dealership. If you go to multiple dealerships, you just multiply that by the number of dealerships that you're going to. The banks hate that. They don't like to see that you're shopping for money and credit. That makes you look, in their point of view, that makes you look desperate, that you're shopping for money. And why are you not getting approved? Why are you still getting, why are they denying you and getting these inquiries, and you're not getting approved, and you're still applying for more funding? So they're leery of even going, extending you any type of line of credit or funding, because you have too many inquiries. What we were looking for is less than 4 inquiries on your credit report in the last 6 months. You want to keep your inquiries under 4 in the last 6 months. Okay. And then, the other thing they're looking for is your income. Now, whether you are a sole proprietor or an entrepreneur, self-employed, all those things kind of mean the same thing, or you're a W-2 employee, they want to see that you're making at least $50,000 a year annually. Okay. That's kind of like their benchmark. Now, I've gotten some people who made $40,000 some funding, but they're not going to get much funding. All right. What that tells the bank is your annual income is that you can afford the loan. Okay. If you're not claiming the money that you're making, then you're not going to be able to get a large loan. Okay. That's just basic math. Can you afford a $50,000 loan? Okay. But here's the other flip side to that, is that we can use household income. So if you and your spouse, your significant other, is making money, say both of you guys make $40,000 a year, so the household's bringing in $80,000, then we can use $80,000 and one individual with the best credit to maximize your fundability. Okay, so that's key. I like you to know. But I've done that for father, son, mother, daughter, couples, as long as they live in the same household and they're filing taxes independently or jointly, doesn't matter, in that household. Okay, so you need, if you live alone, that's fine, but that's what their threshold is. Okay, so there's a quick recap. All right, to qualify for personal loans, so you can build or start your business. All right, we're looking for a 660 credit score on all 3 credit bureaus, and that's a FICO score, not a Vantage score. Okay, we don't want to see any derogatories. Okay, you need to have at least 3 revolving trade lines on your credit, with the utilization under 50%. Obviously, the lower the utilization, the better your fundability. Okay, we don't want no collections, no bankruptcies, no child support of any kind on your credit, reporting to your credit report. No lates in the last 2 years. Okay, and no more than 4 inquiries in the last 6 months, and a minimum of $50,000 per individual income. All right. If you live alone, if you're, then it's 50,000. If you're married or have a significant other, you all live in the same house, you've been together for, that same house when they file the taxes. Okay. Long as you're living in the same house, and you can file independently or jointly, but we can use your combined household income to get you more funding. Okay. So those are the standard things you're looking for. But if you meet all those, you check all those boxes, now you're looking at anywhere from $25 to $100,000 in funding, depending on how strong your credit file is by your revolving trade lines and how you managing utilization. No negative remarks and income. So say hypothetically, you make $75,000 a year and you meet all the other requirements. Most likely, we're going to be able to get you anywhere between $50,000 and $100,000. Okay, because the bank is going to see you that you can afford that type of payment. Okay, now, do you know what to do when you get $100,000? You know how to manage $100,000? Most of us don't. Never seen that much money at one time. Okay, if you do, great. It's not. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. What I'm saying is you have to be forward thinking. All right. And if I drop $100,000 in your account and you got a payment starting in the next 30 to 60 days, all right, and those payments are going to be probably for the next 3 to 5 years. How are you going to strategically use that money to generate more revenue and income in your business? So when those payments start, you're already making money. This is what I tell all my clients. I tell them, put the first year payments on auto pay and set that money aside off day one. First thing you do, so you don't have to worry about those payments for the first year. Then use this money that you have, right, whatever the difference is on $100,000. Just say hypothetically, $100,000 times, say, 12%. So that's $12,000. So basically, you're going to be paying back $112,000, right? So we take $112,000, and we're going to divide that by 60 months. So now your payments are $1,800, $1,866 a month. Then you take that number times 12. So now you got $22,400 that you're going to use. You're going to set that money aside out of the $100,000. So you still got maybe $78,000 to use to build your business. Okay. Now, what are you going to do? What do you want? What type of business are you into? Okay. What I'm getting at is whatever your business structure is, or your product or your service is, you got to figure out a way that you don't have to spend that money to generate more revenue. Okay. And what I mean by that, say, let's take real estate for an example. A lot of people call me, they want to do fix and flips and fix and holds. Okay. But what I would not do is take that $78,000 and go buy a property. That's not what you want to do. No. Okay. All right. If you buy a property and it's distressed and it takes all your money, now you're going to need money for the rehab. Okay. There's a lot of other costs associated with that. What I would recommend you do is find a property that meets the hard money lender criteria. All right. Which is, a property that has that's under market value, that has the potential for $75,000 to $100,000 or more dollars in after rehab value. Okay, I would find that property. I would get it under contract with about $2,000. I would contact my contractor, and I'd get a third-party independent itemized rehab budget. Say that it costs you, $500 for the rehab budget, and the rehab is going to cost you $25,000. Great. All right. So now you got it under contract. You got your rehab budget. Okay. Now they're going to be looking to see that the hard money lenders that you have 10 to 20% of the purchase price of the property. The property costs $100,000. You need $10,000 to $20,000 down. Okay. You got $78,000 in the bank. So you're good. So now you come to me or to a hard money lender, and you say, I want this property. I got a rehab budget. I got it under contract, and I got my 10%. Like clockwork, they're going to give you the money. Boom. They're going to give you 80 to 90% of the purchase price. That's where that other 10 to 20% of the purchase price comes in that you have to come up with. But they're going to give you 100% of the rehab. So that other $25,000 on the rehab budget, they're going to pay for that. All they're looking for is that $100,000 property is going to bring in at least $200 or more $1,000 after rehab. Okay. And that's how you do that. Now, you only used about less than $30,000 of that $78,000 to get the property and get it under rehab and get it back on the market. And then you can flip it. And then you pay off the hard money, and you should still have about $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 in profit after you pay back the hard money. And you just put that in a bank and stack it. So now you, on that $78,000, you use $20,000. So you got another $58,000. You just put another $40,000, $50,000 on top of that. Now you do that, repeat that 4 or 5 times in a year, and you made $200,000, $300,000, and you can pay back that personal loan early within a year instead of taking 5 years, or you just keep doing it. And you still never use your own money. You're just stacking money at this time. You're not using your money. You're using very little of your own money, but it takes some money to make money. Okay. Say it's a food truck. Same concept. Use equipment funding to get the food truck, get it open and operated, and started making money. All right. While you already got that first year of payments set aside for the investment. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. You got to think before thinking and strategically thinking about how is this money going to generate me more money? And it's going to apply to any business model. Okay, as long as you have a plan, right, and you're not worried about making payments in that first year, and when your plan is going to generate more income in that first year, you should be making more money than you borrowed within 12 months to pay off that personal loan. You can pay it off early. There's normally no payment penalties or anything like that. So you can. That's how you get personal money, personal loans, and you build or you grow your business. Okay. Or I mean, like I said, if it's a restaurant, if it's a storefront, a retail business. I mean, there's okay. There's no reason for anybody to be broke, okay, in this day and age. All right. There's money to be made out there 100 different ways, okay? And I'm not a really picky person. If you want to start a business, make sure you're going to start a business where you can monetize it and you're going to make some money at it. And that's some other strategies. You got to know your client. You got to know your product. You got to know your competition. And technically, there's not really competition. There's just other people offering their services. Your clientele is your clientele. Their clientele is their clientele. So we don't want to worry about what the competition's doing. You just need to develop a product or service and speak to your clientele, your audience, and provide a value service or product that answers somebody's problem. That's what we're talking about. You know, the businesses that are highly successful are solving someone's problem. I mean, personally, I'm not a big fan of Walmart. But it's here. It's not going nowhere. And I go there when I have to get what I need to get. Okay. But my point is Walmart solved the problem. They add all these products and services or products from food to diapers to, camping gear to bicycles and toys. I mean, so they become this one-stop shop that you can get everything you need in your local community all over the country and a number of other different countries as well. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. What are you providing for your community that solves a problem? It might be fried chicken. Maybe they want a different your brand, your flavor, your style of cooking fried chicken. Okay, now develop a plan around that. How to deliver it the most effective way and consistent way, so you always have a quality product. Okay, maybe it's a service, maybe it's a daycare. How do you get that stuff taken care of? You need a location, you need special licenses, you need staff. There's things you need to get that you cannot get without money. But if I can get you $50,000 and show you how to how to create that business and make money within the first 12 months, that's what we're talking about. Gabe, thank you for watching. Strategies, right? There's nobody, people just lack the information. My people perish for lack of knowledge. I live by that. I didn't have the knowledge for a long time. I got access to the knowledge. I tell people that they let me see behind the curtain. I saw the wizard. Now I know how to access money for a plethora of different things, right? Whether it's real estate, whether it's equipment, whether it's a brick and mortar, whether it's business credit, there's plenty of money out there. The banks have not stopped lending money. They're still lending money to people that meet their criteria. So you just need to know what that criteria is and get that money so you can build or start your business. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, and I can help you do that. Simple as that. I can help you do that. I'm giving you the info. Get your credit right. Get your finances right. Get your taxes updated. They ain't giving away money just because you say, "Can I have some?" That's not what happened. That's not what happened. Everything on social media ain't true. People becoming millionaires selling lies, and you still spinning your wheels. Okay, so I can prove it to you. I don't even charge no upfront fee. I'm gonna get you the money, and then you pay me out of the money I get you. Okay, that's how I charge. I pay after I deliver. Okay, so there's no misunderstanding. All right, you sign a contract to the fee agreement, and whatever. If I get you $100,000, you're gonna pay me the fee on $100,000. If I get you $50,000, you're gonna pay me the fee on the $50,000. It's not rocket science. It's not complicated. It's straightforward. But my point being is, another thing I do, and the reason I can get, such large numbers is because I'm stacking them. I'm doing loan stacking. Okay. And it's perfectly legal. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just going to multiple banks at the same time, and I might get you 2 or 3 different signature loans. But if I get you 3 or 4 signature loans for $25,000, I put $100,000 in your bank account, and then I'm going to give you the strategy, the playbook on how to use that money, like I just did, by putting yourself first 12 months of payments aside, and then strategically using that money as leverage. Don't spend it. You want to spend as little of it as possible, because it looks so good when a bank sees you have all that money in the bank. They love that. They love to see, oh, wow, he got $50,000 in the bank and he's asking us for money. Yeah. And his credit is good. Yeah. Okay, here you go. Yeah, pay us back. We got you. That's what I'm talking about. They love it when they see you have strong credit and that you have money in the bank. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what bank reserves. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And my point is, there's no shortcuts. So stop thinking there is. You're not going to find any shortcut. You take a shortcut, you're going to hit a dead end. Guaranteed. All right. I'll put money on that. Now, but once you do this system and you learn how to use it, then you're always using other people's money. You keep stacking your money, and then you become your own bank. And then you can do whatever you want. There's no reason why you can't have 30, 40, 50 rental properties in the next 5 years. There's no reason why you can't have 5 to 10 food trucks in your city, with paying employees that's feeding the community, what have you. I mean, dump trucks, tractor trailers, over the road trucker. I mean, you can get all these things with the right play, with the right plan. Okay. I mean, dump trucks are hot, man. All these cities that are blowing up because so many people are moving from the north and moving to the south, to southwest or southeast or what have you. These cities can't keep up with the construction. They got to build new apartments and new housing for all these people to live. Exactly, rental properties. That's exactly what I'm talking about. They got and they're paying these dump truck companies up to $90 an hour to haul away the debris, and they're working them 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. You can hire a driver with a CDL and pay him $20 an hour, and that means you're making $70 an hour, 6 days a week, 10 hours a day. That's $40,000, $50,000 a month. And that's one truck. What if you had 3 trucks? Okay, simple. I mean, I want to say simple, but the plan is not that complicated, is what I'm saying. And whether it be rental properties, dump trucks, tractor trailers, all right, you can get the personal money to get started, and I'll help you do it. Okay. My name is Jeremiah Davis. Dump trucks, yes. You're going to get rid of the roads and get you a dump truck. Hey, that's not a bad idea. But you can keep the roads and still get a dump truck. I can show you how to do that. All right, gang, we need to catch up, man. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Jeremiah Davis. This is Monday Fun Day, and I'm the funding coach. Peace.